It's time for high school football, presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network. The best Stark County football is heard right here all season long. Whether you're in a car, at home, or on the go, the action is live on Q92 and streaming on the Q92 Facebook page, X, and our YouTube channel. Now, let's take you live to the stadium and our broadcast team for tonight's kickoff on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Here they go! Touchdown!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Week 1 of the 2025 high school football season on the Q92 Sports Network, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group. I'm Jay Wilhelm, and I'm live from North Canton as the Hoover Vikings play host to Akron Buchtel. Buchtel finished last season with a record of 4-7 and 3-2 in league play. The Griffins started last season by beating this North Canton team by a final score of 22-13, but the season went downhill quick as they then proceeded to lose 5 straight. They'll look to start with another victory this season, but get a little bit more consistent in the win column. The North Canton Hoover Vikings come in off the heels of a 6-5 campaign last year as they finished 3-3 in Federal League play. Head coach Brian Baum is entering his 11th year as the head coach of the Vikings. They have 16 returning lettermen and will look to take the next step this season as they have a little experience at the quarterback position this season with the return of senior John Collins, who's been under center since Week 3 of last season. Week 1 is here, and I'm live from Memorial Stadium in North Canton. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and when we return, we will look around the Q92 Radio Sports Network and preview the other 6 games that we have going on tonight on the Q92 Sports Network. Again, this is Jay Wilhelm live from North Canton. We'll be back after this. Back here at Memorial Stadium in North Canton as both teams headed back into the locker room for their final instructions. So we're going to take a look around the Q92 Sports Network at the other games that we are covering here tonight. And we're going to start with Warrensville Heights. and Marlington. Thank you, Sam. And next, we are going to check out Dover versus Glen Oak. Thank you, Mike. And now we're going to step away for another commercial break. And when we come back, we will continue to get pre-games from around the Q92 Radio Sports Network. You are listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group.
WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations: Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back as the national anthem is finishing up getting played by the North Canton Hoover Band. And we are going to keep moving along. And next, we're going to check out what's going on with Lake and South Range.
Good evening. I'm Mike Dixon with Q92 Sports. High school football presented by Charchone Auto Group. Tonight we have Lake Blue Streaks traveling to Division 5 powerhouse South Range Raiders. The Blue Streaks come into the 2025 season with high hopes after going 7-5 last season. Lake returns 19 letter winners, including quarterback Ty DeGeorge and running back Davis Matson. On the defensive side of the ball, middle linebacker and senior Kyle Hammer will be back to set the defense for the Blue Streaks. The Blue Streaks team may have one of the best, most athletic receiver and DB rooms that they've ever had. And if you're familiar with the Lake teams, you know that's usually not their forte. South Range comes off another deep playoff run and have compiled 4 straight 12-win seasons. Having 55 wins in their last 59 games, the Raiders are looking to restock after 4 dominant seasons. The Raiders have just 17 letter winners returning, but only 3 of them are starters. There are some new faces, but familiar names, like QB Nick Toy taking over for his brother Tristan Toy. Week 1 is here, and the matchup is set, and this should be a good one. 7 p.m. kickoff here in South Range. Once again, I'm Mike Dixon for Q92 Sports, high school football, presented by Charchone Auto Group.
Thank you, Mike. And now we're going to move right along to Chardon versus Jackson.
Friday night under the lights at Robert Fife Stadium in Jackson for the Week 1 matchup between the Chardon Hilltoppers and the Jackson Polar Bears. There's a new but familiar man at the helm for the Hilltoppers. After going 8-3, Mitch Hewitt stepped down in the offseason after 14 years and back-to-back state titles in 2020 and 2021. Enter new head coach Brian Landis. Landis is no stranger to Chardon. He served as Hewitt's defensive coordinator throughout much of his 15 years as an assistant for the school, including the back-to-back state titles. Chardon has been built on defense, but it will be helped by returning quarterback Drayton Allgood and a Division I prospect on the line in tackle Andrew Baggett. Allgood will also be utilized at multiple positions with emerging sophomore quarterback Andrew Cole. Head coach Jay Rohr starts his 4th season for the Polar Bears, returning 17 lettermen from their 8-4 record last season and co-Federal League champs. They graduated 41 seniors last season. Yes, 41. But Lucas Eckerman enters his 4th year as a starting varsity quarterback. Last year, he threw for 1,994 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, completing 53.6% of his passes. And he will have some new weapons to work with. Chase Maurer will be the feature back this season, and senior Corey Jacobs has transferred back from St. Vincent St. Mary and will play a significant role at wide receiver. Join me, Ryan Keller, and Coach Antonio Hall with the call. Kickoff at 7 p.m. on Q92radiosports.com and the Q92 YouTube page. From Robert Fife Stadium, Ryan Keller, Q92 Sports.
Thank you, Ryan. And we're going to step away again, and then when we come back, we'll have the final 2 games that we are covering across the Q92 Radio Sports Network as the banner is up and ready to be run through for the North Canton Hoover Vikings as the crowd is anxiously awaiting the entrance of their football team for Week 1. You are listening to high school football brought to you by the Charchone Auto Group on Q92 Sports Network.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members with a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN. When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here in North Canton as we are still awaiting the entrance of both teams, as both banners to run through are up. And we're going to continue looking around the Q92 Sports Network. We're going to head out to McKinley, Warren Harding.
A new era at Canton McKinley football begins tonight as new head coach Renzi Parnell leads the Bulldogs on the field for the first time tonight on the road against the Warren Harding Raiders right here on the Q92 Sports Network, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group. Coach Parnell comes to McKinley by way of Akron-Hoban, where he was the defensive coordinator. Along with his coaching staff, Coach Parnell also is bringing a couple of players with him in senior quarterback Trent Hayden and senior defensive back Chris Cook, who were both part of the Hoban team that advanced to the state semifinals last year. The Bulldogs overall returned 19 lettermen from last year's team. They also added running back Zion Culver, who rushed for over 1,500 yards last year for Canton South. As for the Warren Harding Raiders, this marks year 2 of the Matt Richardson era. In year 1, the Raiders went 7-3 and made it to the second round of the playoffs. He's been working hard to instill and get the team to adopt his culture. They'll be led this year by returning quarterback James Jones, who had a lot to do with their success last season. Harding will try to attack you with their running game. Mike King-Adair is back and healthy, and Mendez Provid is back. Coach Richardson calls them Thunder and Lightning. The Raiders will also be leaning on their big and physical offensive line that they tout goes 9 men deep. It's Canton McKinley at Warren Harding, and you can hear it all right here on the Q92 Sports Network. Pregame is 6:30, kickoff is 7. For Q92 Sports, I'm Christian Bigglesworth.
Thank you, Christian. And now we will move to Cleveland Glenville at the Massillon Tigers.
The Cleveland Glenville Tarbletters visit Massillon. Glenville was 11-4 last year after winning the previous 2 state titles in Division IV. Ted Ginn is in his 29th season leading the Tarbletters, but has beaten Massillon only once in 4 meetings, 31-17 in the 2009 Division I state semifinals, the most recent matchup in the rivalry. Glenville continues its early season gauntlet with games at state champions Olin-Tangi Liberty and Avon, and at St. Edward. Cornerback Aaron Scales was an Ohio D4 Defensive Player of the Year. Linebacker Sincere Johnson was an All-Ohioan and is committed to Ohio State. Safety C.J. Newell ran for 1,100 yards and 18 touchdowns last year, but is expected to concentrate on defense this season. Quarterback Arvell Nelson split time last year. He's expected to take over full-time. Massillon had its bid for a second straight state title derailed by 19 penalties and a kickoff return touchdown in a regional final loss to Big Walnut. Tigers have only 2 starters returning on offense, both on the line, which is expected to excel again. Manny Patterson looks to get the call at quarterback as Jalen Slaughter is gone after starting for all or part of the last 4 seasons. Patterson played in 7 games last year, completing 4 of 9 passes. Xavier Owens, the brother of state champion quarterback DeJuan Owens, should be the top rusher. He carried for 126 yards with a 3.9 average in 9 games last year. New defensive coordinator Jeff Kent comes from Georgia and will have last year's second leading tackler Jaden Williams at linebacker. The senior had 81 stops with 12.5 for loss and 5.5 sacks. The Tigers host the Tarbletters. I'm Clint Scroggs for Q92 Sports.
Thank you, Clint. And then we are going to step away one more time as we are still awaiting the entrance of both teams, as North Canton did do honoring the youth programs here in North Canton and shouted out some of the names of the players on each of those teams. And we'll be back after this. And when we do come back, we're actually going to go to the coach's corner. And I had a chance to spend a few moments with each coach heading into tonight's ball game. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Radio Sports Network.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here at Memorial Stadium as the fans are still pouring in on both sides. Akron Buchtel brought a nice little crowd below me here as I am on the visitor side facing west. And I got to tell you, the new grandstands, the roof and the facade with the Hoover Vikings and their logo up there, that looks really nice. I think this is the first time I've seen it since they've completed it. But it looks great, and I got to feel bad for the Hoover Viking mascot down there who he's in that big costume in this heat, and I got to tell you, the person's probably not loving life right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head to the coach's corner. And as I mentioned, I had a chance to spend some time with both coaches before tonight's matchup down on the field level. And we're going to start with Akron Buchtel head coach Brian Williams, who's actually in his 5th year with the team.
This is Jay Wilhelm with Q92 Sports. I'm here with Akron Buchtel head coach Brian Williams. Coach, overall health of the team coming out of camp and preseason?
Man, we're good. We're good, man. God is good, man. We all healthy.
Love that. I love that. All these nerves. It's week 1 on the road. These guys are out here pacing. They're ready, man. I could tell the nerves, the excitement, the aggression. They're ready to let it out. What do you say to your guys in this kind of a situation to start the season to kind of get them to hone in and focus on the job at hand?
Relax. The young guys that's never been here, man, you older guys, man, if you get too tensed up, they get tensed up. So, man, everybody just, man, sit down, relax, man, stay composed, and play our game. The biggest thing is, man, is coming in here, man, this is our 4th time being here. So we're not new to this environment. So, man, get here, man, go through your pregame warm-up, man. I don't bother the guys when they're doing their thing, man. So once we get in this locker room, though, and it's time to have that chat, man, then everybody just hone in and just sit back and relax, and I have that talk with them.
Got you, man. I love it. Hey, I appreciate the time. Good luck to you tonight and the rest of the season.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks. Yep.
Always appreciative of Coach Williams giving us his time, especially in week 1 where everything just, I mean, even for everybody, the coaches, the players, us up here in the booth, the referees, just everybody, it just kind of feels like chaos because you want that first week to kind of go off without a hitch, and it doesn't always happen. So you're just kind of running around and making sure that everything's just ready to roll for kickoff. So we always appreciate it when Coach Williams can give us a few moments. And now we're going to move on to Hoover head coach Brian Baum, who's actually in his 11th season with the North Canton Hoover Vikings. And this is what he had to say coming into tonight's ball game.
This is Jay Wilhelm with Q92 Sports. I'm here with Hoover head coach Brian Baum. Coach, overall health of the team coming out of camp and preseason.
We're as healthy as we can be right now. There's a couple ankles out there. We're getting through from camp legs and things like that. But I like where we're at with health. I like where we're at with our physicality, and we're going to take another step up tonight.
Sounds good. Senior quarterback John Collins. He's almost got a full year under his belt. I think he came in week 3 last year. Most important position in all of sports, they say. What are you looking for out of him tonight in his first opener, and it's in front of the home crowd?
Quick decisions. Buchtel will make you pay if you hang anything or if you're late on anything. He's got to make quick, good decisions. He does that and just puts it on the spot. We're going to be all right. We can't give them extra possessions, and that's one of the things you worry about is the quarterback hangs on too long because they'll get to you or they'll cause a turnover.
Absolutely. Coach, as always, I always appreciate the time. Good luck tonight and good luck in this season.
Thank you, Jay.
Yep.
We're back here as they are going to play the national anthem, so we're going to let that happen. And there we go. National anthem is over. We have gone through our pregame show.
Tonight's contest is between our guests, the Buchtel Griffins, and our own Hoover Vikings.
And now
Both schools are members of the OHSAA.
the talking is over, and we are about ready for kickoff here on the Q92 Radio Sports Network. I want to thank you guys for spending your week 1 Friday night with us here on Q92 Radiosports.com. And we are ready to go, as I think they've already done the coin flip. It must have been interviewing coaches when that happened. So I'll tell you here in a second who's doing what.
Back judge Brian West and center judge Michael Phillips. Tonight's game
And it looks like the North Canton Hoover Vikings will receive the opening kickoff.
Hoover High School would like to thank Cleveland Plain Mercy Hospital.
And we are ready to go in week 1. We'll start this season by thanking all of our sponsors because without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you these broadcasts week in and week out. So the home crowd here at Memorial Stadium is going to get to see senior John Collins under center right away for the North Canton Hoover Vikings. And as I mentioned, they lost this game to start last season. I believe the final score I mentioned was 22-13. And then Buchtel went on to lose 5 straight, which is the main reason they ended 4-7 and 3-2 in league play. And Coach Williams, 5 years in at Buchtel, and Coach Baum, 11 years in at Hoover. And it's going to be a pooch kick down the middle. It's going to be fielded at about the 25-yard line. North Canton up to the 30, to the 35. They're going to power their way to the 37-yard line. And that's going to be nice starting field position, as that was Carter Lukens, the senior running back / linebacker on the return there for the Hoover Vikings. Did a great job of following his blockers, not expecting that ball in his lap to start the game. So North Canton, they're all blacks with the orange helmets and the black and orange trim. White numbers. Akron Buchtel in the all whites with the black numbers and the all white helmets with the black trim on those. And Collins is going to start in the shotgun. He's got a running back to his right. 2 receivers to each side. He's going to take the snap, and he's going to hand it off right up the middle. Cuts back to the left. It's Gio Bianchi up across the 45 to the 48-yard line, and that's going to be a first down. A great run off the left side for Gio. Also a senior for the Hoover Vikings. Gio Bianchi on the carry there, and right back to the line, no huddle for the Hoover Vikings. And Buchtel jumps off sides, but they let him get back in, no flag. So everybody stays set. 2 receivers to each side again. Going to hand it off to Gio again. No, he fakes it, and then Collins is going to run up the right side across the 50 into Buchtel territory. And inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. And that's going to bring up about a 2nd and 2 for the Vikings. This time it's going to be empty backfield, 5 wide for Collins. He's in the shotgun. The Griffins are in, it looks like a 4-4 defense, 4-3 now as they move back out. One of the DBs dropped into coverage. Little throw over to the flat to Jack Andes. And he goes up the right side, and he lost the ball. After the first down, he lost the football. And Akron Buchtel comes up with it, as that's going to be the first turnover of the ball game. And it's by Jack Andes as he was trying to get more yardage over there on the far sideline after he'd already got the first down. And just like Coach Ball mentioned, Buchtel will make you pay if you give them the option. And now Buchtel, after Hoover was marching, getting yards easy, getting first downs easy. And just like that, that drive will stall. And Akron Buchtel will go on offense for the first time tonight, and they will start on their own 35-yard line. 10:43 to go here in the first quarter. We have no score. It looks like Arthur Thomas is going to start at quarterback for Buchtel. And something went wrong for Buchtel as they broke huddle, and they're going to have to call a timeout already. So that's going to be the first timeout for anybody, including Akron Buchtel there. It was either a formation problem or a personnel problem. And none of the coaches on the sideline look happy, and none of the players out on the field look happy, and I couldn't imagine that they would, as they weren't even able to get an offensive play off before having to use a timeout. Timeout was brought to you by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. Arthur Thomas, 6'4", 175-pound sophomore for Akron Buchtel, and he's going to be in the shotgun with a running back right behind him, 2 receivers to his left, 1 out wide to the right. Takes the snap. He went to hand it off, and the running back went to the wrong direction. So Arthur Thomas had to dive on the floor to give himself up. And that's going to be a loss of yardage there. 2-yard loss. So it's going to be 2nd and 12. So not a great start for the Griffins on offense. Their first time around here in week 1. Hoover looked great until the fumble. And Akron Buchtel looking the exact opposite. So we got a sideline warning on White. That is Akron Buchtel, their first sideline warning. Choppy start here. We expect those things in week 1, especially when you're the road team, having to start in front of a packed house here in North Canton across the way. Looks like they got that whole home side filled to the brim. And now back in the shotgun for Thomas. 2nd and 12. And now Buchtel's going to have to take yet another timeout. Their second timeout. Already. I can't really tell what's going on down there. It's a communication issue between the sideline and the offense out on the field. But it is not great, and that's another Friends and Family Credit Union timeout. It's time to bring a friend into the family. And right now, the family of Akron Buchtel is having some issues getting an offensive play off. The only play that they've technically run is a running play where the running back went to the wrong side, so the quarterback had to dive on the football because there was nobody there. 10:24 to go here in the first quarter. We still have no score. It's 2nd and 12 for Buchtel. They are going left to right. They put Dwight Shade in motion, and then he goes back out wide. They take the snap, and they're going to hand it off to the running back who goes up the right side out to the 45-yard line, which is the original line of scrimmage. And that was Marcus Britt Jr., senior running back on the carry there for Akron Buchtel. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 for Buchtel. And we'll see if this time around, coming out of the huddle, as they got 2 guys wide to the left, one in the slot on the left, and then 1 guy out wide to the right, back in the shotgun. This time Britt is on the right hip of Arthur Thomas. He's going to drop back the pass, fired over the middle, and it is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Carter Wilson, who actually had a shot at catching that football. It still would have been short of the first down as he was diving for it or sliding for it. And that's going to bring up 4th and 11 for Buchtel, and they're going to bring out the punt team and kick it back to the Hoover Vikings.
Drake Cooper back to receive the punt.
Drake Cooper, senior wideout, linebacker for Hoover, is back deep to receive the punt for the Vikings. And it's a short punt. It's going to bounce at the Hoover 40. Get a nice little Buchtel bounce down to the Hoover 30-yard line, 30 and a half. And that's where the North Canton Hoover Vikings will start their second offensive drive of the ball game, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. 9:30 to go here in the first quarter. Pretty soon here, we're going to have the sun beating straight into our eyes as we are in the visitors' press box here at Memorial Stadium, which, if you've ever been here, you know it faces west. And until that sun goes down over that new roof over there on the home side, we're going to be fighting the sunshine. All right, Collins back in the shotgun. Got Gio on his left hip this time. 2 receivers to each side. Fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield by Kyler Wilson of Buchtel. And that's going to be a 3-yard loss? 4-yard loss there on the sack. As he was right in there. He was not fooled for a second. They're going to say 5-yard loss, 2nd and 15 now for the Hoover Vikings. Back in the shotgun. Same formation as before. Takes a snap, drops back the pass. He's looking downfield. He's rolling left. He's going to fire it to the right side. And they're going to call it complete as he got both feet down. That was Chris Carter there. A little sideline work, named Chris Carter. I remember a Chris Carter back in the day that was a savant with his feet around the sideline for not only the Ohio State Buckeyes, but for the Minnesota Vikings. And back in the shotgun, no huddle there for the Hoover Vikings, and it's now 3rd and 4 after an 11-yard gain. Collins got 3 receivers to his right. He's looking right, fires over the middle. He's got a completion out to the 50. He breaks free to the 30. He's going to be chased from behind, and he's pushing his way down to the 19-yard line. And that's Bryson Byer for the Hoover Vikings. And that's going to be a 1st down as the Hoover Vikings move into Buchtel territory, and they are now actually in the RG Drag red zone. Learn, earn, and succeed with RG Drag. No huddle. John Collins back in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. He's going to hand it off. And it's fumbled again by Gio Bianchi. 2 fumbles for him, 2 fumbles lost as they were marching again. Under 8 minutes to play, still no score, and the football goes back to Akron Buchtel. So the tale of 2 struggles going on right now for both teams. Buchtel struggling to get plays off. Hoover's driving the ball well, but they have 2 turnovers. And here come the Griffins. Arthur Thomas in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide, 2 to each side. He puts one in motion. A little flip pass to Tavion Iverson going up the left side, tries to turn the corner, and he's going to be gang tackled there at about the 12-yard line. That's going to bring up second down for Akron Buchtel. They are now out to the 15-yard line. They're going to call it no gain on the play. So 2nd and 10 for the Griffins. Back in the shotgun. Running back to the right hip. 1 receiver up top to the left. 3 down here to the right. Drops back to pass. He's looking right. Fires to the sideline. Complete to Demir Edwards for about a 2-yard gain. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for Buchtel. Under 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. We still have no score.
It's 3rd down.
3rd and 7. No huddle for Buchtel now as well. As Thomas, the quarterback, barking out the play to his guys. This time we're going to have 3 wide to the top on the left side and 1 down here to the right. Shotgun formation. Thomas drops back to pass. He's looking left. He was going to unload it, and then he's going to be sacked in the backfield to bring up 4th down by a gang of Hoover Vikings.
Thomas drops back to pass.
David Tully looks like he was one of the main contributors to that sack. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and the punt unit's going to come back out for Akron Buchtel. And the punter is going to be standing at his own 1-yard line, heels on the goal line. I think JT Gregory is out at the 50-yard line waiting to return it. Short, high kick. Everybody better look up. And it's going to hit at the Buchtel 35-yard line, and it's going to be down at the 36. So Hoover is going to have great starting field position inside the Akron Buchtel 50. At the Buchtel 35 is where it's going to be 1st and 10. 5:42 to go here in the first quarter. Week 1 of the Ohio high school football season. And here we go. Collins in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Looking left. Lobs it over the middle. Got his man at the 10. Down to the 5. He breaks free. Cuts to the left. Touchdown, Hoover. No flags, and it looks like that was Jack Andes on the touchdown, making up for his first possession fumble. And Hoover officially gets on the board first with the extra point still to come for the Hoover Vikings. And the extra point is up, and it is good. 7-0 Hoover. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Sports Network.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, the Hoover Vikings lead the Akron Buchtel Griffins 7-0 after the Jack Andes touchdown.
and Leon Cross.
Just got word that Lake is now up 7-0 over South Range. And that kickoff goes through the end zone for a touchback.
South side of the stadium on the home side. Take a look at all those future Hoover Viking cheerleaders. Give them a hand.
And Buchtel will start from their own 30-yard line. 5:32 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Hoover. Nope. It's a 20-yard line. Sorry. Hey, it's week 1 for me too. Calm down. And shotgun formation for Arthur Thomas. And he's going to hand it off to his running back, who's going to break out to the right side, coming up out to the 25 to the 26-yard line. And that's going to be Kyler Wilson on the carry there for the Griffins. 5'11", 180-pound senior running back for Buchtel. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 3 after a nice 7-yard gain on first down. Back in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They're going to fire it to the left, and it's going to be complete to Dorian Johnson. Gets free on the left sideline, out to the 35 to the 37-yard line. And that's going to be a 1st and 10 for Akron Buchtel, their first of the ball game. As it looks like now, so far on this drive, they're starting to put that offense together. Back in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He's going to hand it off again. Wilson goes straight up the middle, and he gets maybe a yard. We'll see what they give him here. We're going to move him out to the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down. And 9 as they give him forward progress on that play. Thomas in the shotgun, got Kyler Wilson behind him. And they got a receiver up top to the left, 2 down here to the right, and they're going to hand it off to Kyler Wilson, who tries to go up the middle again, forces his way out to the 40-yard line. That was some tough earned yardage there for Kyler Wilson. And it's 3rd down again for Akron Buchtel, as they're going to call it 3rd and 6. 3:30 to go here in the first quarter. Choppy first quarter here for both teams, really. Hoover's up 7-0. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And we're going to get a false start on Buchtel, which is going to knock them back 5 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and 11. Warren Harding just made a field goal, and they are up 3-0 over the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. So 3-minute mark now here in the first quarter, 3rd and 11 for the Griffins. Shotgun formation. They're going to go 4 wide, 3 to the right, 1 up top to the left. Thomas takes a snap, rolls right, dumps it off into the flat, a little too strong for his intended target. Carter Williams over his head, incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down for Akron Buchtel. And let's see if they bring on that punt unit. And it looks like they are. So back deep again, Bryson Byer for Hoover, standing on his own 30-yard line. 4th and 11 for Buchtel. And Bryson's going to walk up to his 35-yard line. This is a nice punt this time by Buchtel. Caught at the 33, goes up the left sideline, and let's see where they call him out. I believe he got to about the 49, and that's where they're going to mark him out, the 49-yard line on the Hoover side of the 50. Glen Oak is up 7-6 over Dover, and right now Glenville is over Massillon 7-0 with 1:14 to go in the first quarter over there at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. I don't think we have to say Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. I think they only have one game away from there this year. All right, 1st and 10 for North Canton Hoover from their own 49-yard line. 2:31 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Vikings. And John Collins back in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. And he's going to hand it off to his running back. This time it's Michael Lamlian, who's a junior running back, who's going to take the place of Gio Bianchi, who fumbled it the last time he carried the football. Lamlin, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's going to bring up 2nd down right back to the line of scrimmage for Hoover on 2nd and 4. They are now inside the Buchtel 50. Collins steps up in the pocket, rolls left. He's going to take off down to the 40, to the 35, and he's going to run out at the 34-yard line. Great run by John Collins there, as he knew that nobody was open and he didn't force anything. And that was the thing that Coach Brian Baum mentioned in the pregame, was he wanted him to be patient and make good decisions with the football, and he did there. 1st and 10 from the Griffin 34, 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Fires it out to the right immediately, got his man up the right side, cuts it back in, down to the 20-yard line. Jack Andes again on a great reception and run. And that looks like it's going to be another 1st down for the Hoover Vikings. 1:46 to go here in the first quarter. Hoover marching with the football again. So we're going to keep Michael Lamlin in at running back right now for the Hoover Vikings. And he's going to stay on the left hip of John Collins. Move back over to the right, 4 receivers, 2 to each side. 1st and 10 from the 21. Hand it off to Lamlin. Cuts it up the middle, back to the left side, and he's flipped down at the 15-yard line. And the Hoover Vikings are now in the RG Drag red zone. Learn, earn, and succeed. RG Drag. Approaching the 1 minute. We're under 1 minute now here in the first quarter. 2nd and 4 from the 15 for Hoover. Empty backfield except for shotgun John Collins. 5 wide. Takes the snap, looks left, fires it off. It's complete. And down inside the 15 goes Michael Lamlin. He took a couple of shots before he fell. And he's a little short of the 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 as he got 2 on that one. And this time Hoover's going to huddle up. They are going to have to run one more play here in the first quarter, as the play clock's at 14. Play clock's about 6 seconds ahead of the game clock, so they are going to have to run a play. And they are going to go I formation. Right up the middle with Michael Lamlin, and it looks like he got it. That's going to be a 1st down inside the 10-yard line for the Vikings. And that actually should end after they place the football. That'll end the first quarter with the Hoover Vikings leading Akron Buchtel 7-0. And we are going to step away for a commercial break. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarchone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important benefits that we can offer at Friends and Family Credit Union. Welcome to Family Secure Checking. It offers unrivaled security to protect your everyday finances and purchases, as well as comprehensive identity theft protection and reimbursement coverage, credit file monitoring, benefits for travel, shopping rewards, and cell phone protection that includes repair or replacement for up to 4 phones on your cell phone plan. It's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here at Memorial Stadium to start the second quarter. The North Canton Hoover Vikings are up 7-0 on the Akron Buchtel Griffins. And Hoover is knocking on the door as they'll now flip sides of the field. And now Hoover will go left to right as they are first and goal on the Buchtel 9-yard line. And let's see what we got here. It looks like now Dover is leading Glen Oak 12-7. Looks like a couple of touchdowns by Dover with missed extra points, because they went from 7-0 to 7-6 to 7-12. So we got a baseball score going on over at Bob Cummins Field up the street here from us in Plain Township. And now both teams are back out onto the field. Shotgun formation for John Collins. 4 receivers to each side. Fakes the snap, fakes the handoff to one guy, hands it off again down the middle. And there he goes, Michael Lamlin in for the touchdown. Another rushing touchdown there, as Hoover is now up 13-0 with an extra point still coming. Extra point still to come. It's up, and it is good. It is now 14-0 North Canton Hoover over Akron Buchtel to start the second quarter here. 11:55 to go until halftime.
Folks, take a look at those orange tickets. I'll be reading our winning 50-50 number. If I don't hear...
After one quarter, Marlington and Warrensville Heights are knotted at 0. And I will continue as I get them, give you the updates of the other games we are covering here on the Q92 Radio Sports Network as they come into me throughout the ball game here. 11:55 to go here in the second quarter. North Canton Hoover leads Akron Buchtel 14-0. As Hoover's looking for revenge after last year's opening game loss to these Griffins. Lake and South Range are now knotted at 7. So now the Griffins will be going from right to left. Teed up, ready to kick it back, and it is in the air, and it's deep. It's going to be fielded at the 5. Out to the 20, cuts back up to the 25, and that's where Buchtel will start. 4:48 left in the first quarter in Harding, and McKinley now retakes the lead as they are up 8-3. More baseball scores. The Bulldogs on top of Harding.
Our winner, Jessica Stroya, has donated the proceeds of the 50-50 back to the sideliners. Thank you.
So here we go. Arthur Thomas and company back out onto the field for Akron Buchtel. Shotgun formation. He's got Marcus Britt Jr. in the backfield with him. He's going to have 2 receivers up top to his right, 1 down here to his left as they are going right to left. Takes the snap, and he's going to hand it off to Britt, who goes straight up the middle, and he's going to be pounced on immediately after a 1-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for Buchtel.
Marcus Britt Jr. on the carry. Tackle was made by number 51, David Tully. 2nd down and 9.
David Tully on the tackle there for the Vikings. Tully's been around the football the whole first half so far. Seems to have a nose for it. He's a senior offensive and defensive lineman for North Canton. Here's Thomas, back in the shotgun, takes the snap. Going to hand it off to Britt Jr. again, and this time he's going to try to stretch it out to the right side. We got a flag on the play in the backfield. It's probably going to come back to holding on the Griffins.
Marcus Britt Jr. on the carry. Tackle was made by number 17, Ledwell. Flag on the play. Holding on the offense.
Yep, it's going to be holding on the offense, and that's going to bring it back 10 yards. They're going to repeat 2nd down. It's 2nd and 19. Lake responds quickly. They are back up 14-7 on South Range, and Massillon responds quickly as they have knotted up with Glenville now 7 apiece. Second and 20 now for Buchtel. 10:58 to go here in the first half. Going to have 3 wide to the left, 1 wide up top to the right. Thomas drops back to pass, and he's going to roll left immediately. Looking downfield, and he drops the football. It's going to be picked up by another Griffin in the backfield. Heads up play by Kyler Wilson, because that could have been disaster as they are inside their own 20-yard line. And if a Viking would have picked that up off the bounce, he might have taken it to the house. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 19 as the fumble actually gained him a yard after the recovery. Again, heads up play there by Kyler Wilson, 5'11", 180-pound senior running back. And Arthur Thomas back in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Looking downfield, here comes the rush, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield down to his own 17-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th and forever. So Buchtel's going to have to bring in the punt team again.
Brings up a 4th down. Trayshawn Jones back to punt.
We're going to whistle something. It's a uniform issue. So they sent the punter off and sent another one on. So they're going to bring out Chris Carter to punt, as there was a uniform issue with the original punter. They made him go off. Short line drive punt. It's going to bounce inside their own territory, but they get a great Buchtel roll as it hit at their own 40, but rolled all the way down to the North Canton Hoover 38-yard line. So the Vikings are going to start 1st and 10 from their own 38. Up 14-0 with 8:59 to go here in the first half.
September 1st at 7 o'clock. This Sideliners meeting will be located at the Greentown Athletic Club. Please consider attending Sideliners meetings as this booster club supports Hoover students representing the academics, arts, and athletics.
And here comes that sun that's just barely peeking over the grandstands on the far side. Good thing I wore a hat and sunglasses for that matter. And John Collins and company back out right into formation. 4 wide, 2 to each side. Running back on his right hip, he puts Andes in motion. Fakes the handoff to Andes. He gives it to the running back straight up the middle, and he is powering his way through some Griffins out to the 44-yard line. I'm trying to see who had the ball there for North Canton Hoover. He was a load to bring down.
On the carry.
And Helmets got interlocked. One had to take his helmet off. The face masks are locked together. Michael Lamlin there on the carry. Man, he is a load to bring down. They had to take both helmets off, and they got them apart. See that every once in a while. That's going to be 1st and 10, though. Or no, 2nd and, let's say about 6. 8:40 to go. Shotgun formation. Collins fires it to the left side. He's got Jack Andes again up the left sideline into Buchtel territory for another Hoover first down. 8:23 to go till halftime. They are now on the Buchtel 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Collins, shotgun. 4 wide, 2 to each side. Michael Lamlin on his left side. Back in the backfield, drops back to pass. Here comes the rush. He avoids it. Rolls left. Now he's going to take off. Inside the 35, down to about the 31-yard line. Another great decision by senior quarterback John Collins, avoiding the pressure with just absolutely pristine footwork for a guy that tall. Doing a great job avoiding the pressure on the blitz and rolling left and then taking off for another Hoover first down. And they're going to go 5 wide, empty backfield. Shotgun for Collins. Third or 1st and 10, takes a snap, looks right, fires it over the middle. Got his man, Bryson Byer, who's down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And they are now in the RG Drag red zone. Learn, earn, and succeed. And right back to the line of scrimmage. No huddle. This time they're going to fake the handoff, but Collins is not going to get out of the rush this time as he's sacked way back at his own 20-yard line. That was Kyler Wilson. Great job getting to the quarterback very quickly. Didn't even give him a chance to gather himself after the snap. Under 7 minutes to play until halftime. And that's going to bring up probably 2nd and 15 or so. With the glare from the sun, I can't really see the marker. Back to the shotgun. Drops back, looking downfield. He's going to lob it over the middle. Did he catch it or was it trapped? In the end zone, they're going to say incomplete. It bounced off the turf. That was close, but great job by Hoover giving it a go. So that's going to be 3rd and 14 for the Vikings. Referee was right on top of the play, and he had the open side of the dive. So he must have seen it bounce off that turf before it hit into the arms of the receiver. Collins, and he's going to take off again. Straight up the middle, inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line as he felt his way through inside the 5. And that's going to be 1st and goal, Hoover. John Collins is shifty. I don't know how fast he is because we really haven't had a chance to see him kind of just go at it. They're actually going to call him short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and a yard, 4th and inches, something around in there. But he is shifty when he gets into space. Uses those long legs to make cuts that other guys just can't reach. So 4th and 1, they're going to keep the power eye offense on the field, and here it goes. And he gets hit in the backfield and didn't get it. Great penetration by Buchtel. And that should be a turnover on downs. There's no way he got it. Did they give him forward progress? End of the first. Glen Oak trails Dover 18-7. And Lake got a big punt return. 21-7 now. And then South Range returned the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown, and it's 21-13, but Lake's still on top. And it is going to be a turnover on downs, as Buchtel did a great job of getting penetration up front. Hard to do these days with a power eye. But Buchtel's going to start from their own 3-yard line, shadow of their own goal line. Glenville takes a lead on Massillon, 13-7. 7:01 left in the second quarter over there at Paul Brown. After one, McKinley leads Harding 8-3. Oh, they're actually going to bring out the chains to confirm the short yardage. Oh, yeah, he's short. Yeah, he's short by almost a whole yard. I don't know how you couldn't see that, having to bring the chain gang all the way out there. So, Buchtel stops it from getting worse, but again, they're starting from their own 4-yard line. That's what they're going to call it. $5:50 to go until halftime here at Memorial Stadium in North Canton. The Hoover Vikings lead Akron Buchtel 14-0. Buchtel in the shotgun on their own 4-yard line, 1st and 10. Big stop. Here's a chance for them to grab all of that momentum back. They got the big stop, and now they got to move the football. They're going to hand it off. Hoover dumps them down at the goal line, and they're trying to call for a safety, but that's going to be down at the 2. They're going to give him forward progress because he was never in the end zone. You can't push him backwards. The minute his forward progress is stopped, then the play is over. So that's going to be 2nd down and about 11. From their own 3. They're on the far side, so I can't see. They're going to hand it off again. This time he gets up to about the 5-6 yard line, so a little bit more breathing room there. But that's going to bring up 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 8 for Buchtel. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking left. Got the guy out of his break too short, just at the receiver's feet. And that's going to bring up 4th down as Arthur Thomas was drilled in the end zone. Jackson, second quarter, up 21-7 on Chardon. Thomas gets up under his own power, walks off slowly. Big hit there. So now punting back to Hoover, as they got Bryson Byer standing at the Buchtel 35-yard line. And again, they're switching punters. Snap goes over the punter's head and out of the back of the end zone, but they're going to whistle the play dead with a flag, and I believe that's going to be a false start or a delay of game. It's going to be a delay of game on Buchtel because they had to run the other guy off and run the new punter back on. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish there. They bring in Trayshawn Jones to punt, and then they end up running in Dwight Shade to punt after the first guy is already in place. And now we got another flag, and this time it is a false start on Buchtel. Well, that's going to be half a distance to the goal. So now the football is going to be right on the 1.5 yard line, 1.5 yard line. And the punter's got his heels on the back of the end zone. And this punt goes almost over, and it's going to be blocked and out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety for Hoover, as the punter did a great job of fielding the high snap with one hand and bringing it down. But by the time he gathered himself to punt it, every Hoover Viking that was on that front line was in there on top of him. So
this year's inductees include 1978 graduate Gina Spottelson-Boring,
it's going to be a
1977
safety.
graduate and Fire Marshal Gary Cohen, and 3 North Canton educators, Betty Griffiths, Ted Hall, and Peggy McLean. The Alumni Association will have an in-person induction ceremony.
So it's now 16-0, Hoover.
7 p.m. at Hoover High School. There is no charge for this event.
So now they get a free kick back to Hoover. McKinley up 8-6. Harding makes another field goal. And this Lake South Range game is getting crazy. Lake returned a punt for a touchdown. Then South Range returned the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown. And then Lake returned a kick for a touchdown. So Lake is now up 29-13 over South Range. We got 16-0 here with 4:19 left until halftime. Hoover Vikings all over Akron Buchtel right now. And Buchtel, after the safety and the block punt, is going to have to kick it back to Hoover. Had to get the right football on the field. And line drive right down the middle. It's going to be fielded at the 40, to the 45, out to the 50. Andes breaks back right inside Buchtel territory to the Buchtel 47-yard line. Jack Andes. Decent return there for the Vikings. And North Canton's going to start 1st and 10 inside Griffin territory. .4:11 to go until halftime. That sun is finally behind the grandstands. So we get a clean look at the field now, and it's going to start cooling off, which will feel great because these press boxes, I'm going to tell you, in August and September, first 3 to 4 weeks, they are saunas. Especially the ones facing west with the sun as it sets, beating right in your face. Shotgun formation for John Collins. Takes a snap, drops back the pass, dumps it off to Jack Andes in the flat on the left side, and he's actually going to lose a yard. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Great open field tackle there by the Griffins. And the lights come on in the press boxes. We're getting darker out here. 5 wide for Hoover. 3 to the right, 2 up top to the left. Takes a snap, drops back the pass. Here comes the blitz. He tries to work his way through it, and he gets maybe a yard or two. Did a great job of feeling his way through all those arms. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now for the Vikings. Louisville's up 7-0 on New Philadelphia. Third and 10, 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Shotgun for John Collins. Takes the snap, drops back, he's looking right. He's going to fire it over the middle, complete to his intended target. Michael Stater. And that's a first down as they are now inside the Griffin 35 to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 Hoover as they are marching yet again. Shotgun formation. Takes a snap. Collins hands it off to the running back. Michael Lamlin straight up the middle, cuts it back to the right side on the right hash mark down to the 26-yard line. Nice 5-yard gain or so there for Lamlin. Shotgun. 3 up top to the left, 1 wide down here to the right. They're going to hand it off to Lamlin again. This time he cuts left, straight up the middle, inside the 20 to the 15 to the, they're going to say the 16-yard line. Another first down for Hoover. And you guessed it. They are now in the RG Drag red zone. Learn, earn, and succeed. RG Drag. Collins right back to the line, shotgun. 4 wide, 2 to each side, takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking over the middle, fires to the left side, back of the end zone, off the hands of Jack Andes, incomplete in the end zone. 2nd and 10 with 1:48 to go until half. Glenville's now up 19-7 on Massillon. 4:24 to go in the second quarter there, and I've heard neither team has any timeouts left with 4:24 to go. It's a week 1 thing, man. I swear. Back in the shotgun for Collins. Takes the snap, drops back. He's looking left. Here comes the rush. He avoids it, but not for long as they finally get him. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
John Collins keeps it. Tackle was made by number 43.
And Buchtel will use their 3rd and final timeout, which is actually pretty impressive considering they had to use their first 2 within the first 15 seconds of their first offensive drive. So they're going to take a timeout and try to gather it here for 3rd and 13 for Hoover with 1:13 to go from their own 19-yard line, up 16-0.
/sportsmedicine. To learn more, Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospitals is proud to be the official sports medicine provider for Hoover High School. Tonight's game is being sponsored by Gregory Industries. We would like to thank Gregory Industries for their support of Hoover Athletics and for being tonight's game sponsor.
And coming up here at halftime, we're going to have Jeff Mears news break. We'll go over the scores around Stark County. And we'll talk about the highlights of the first half. So here we go. Back out of the timeout. Collins in the shotgun, 5 wide. Nobody in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, drops back, looking downfield, and he's going to be hammered in the backfield by Jamarion Dawkins. Or wait, I think that was Jordan. Was that Jordan Holloway? Either way, whoever that was absolutely drilled John Collins. Marlington's now up 7-0 on Warrensville Heights. And it's now 4th and 23. Hoover's going to leave the offense on the field as there's 38 seconds to go. They're going to run the clock all the way down because they have some timeouts to use here. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to use one of the timeouts and discuss if they just, with 25 seconds to go, knowing Buchtel has no timeouts, if they just want to give it a go at the end zone on 4th and 23 or go for the field goal. It would be a long one. I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of knowledge of this year's field goal kicker for them. But we're going to see here. So here we go out of the timeout, both teams. And they're going to launch it up, and it's going to be a diving interception in the end zone by Buchtel to save another touchdown. And that was Dorian Johnson, D2, with the great diving interception away from the football because they had their guy in the corner, but he got it at its peak to keep the score at 16-0. Great job there by Buchtel, not giving up on the play or the game. Great stuff there by Dorian Johnson. He is a 6 foot, 180-pound senior DB. And he showed every bit of it there. And we're going to get Arthur Thomas back out onto the field. Shotgun formation, 17 seconds left. No timeouts. And they're going to hand it off to Marcus Britt Jr. Gains about 4 yards. Before he is tackled by Carter Lukens. And that'll be the end of the first half as the Hoover Vikings lead Akron Buchtel 16-0. We are going to step away for a commercial break. You are listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarchone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarchone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarchone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarchone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarchone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarchone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarchone Auto Group. Find out more at sarchone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN. It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
This is high school football presented by Sarchone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here at Memorial Stadium as it's halftime as the Hoover Vikings lead the Akron Buchtel Griffins 16-0. And the Griffins band is out on the field right now playing their halftime show. We are going to send it back to the studio for a Jeff Mears news break.
From the Q92 newsroom, I'm Jeff Mears. An overheated electrical cord on an air conditioner is getting the blame for starting a fire at a Canton home early today. Around 1:40, firefighters were called to the 800 block of High Avenue Northwest. They found heavy smoke coming from the structure. Damage is estimated at $23,000. The house will likely be torn down. A dog trying to get food on a stove started another house fire in the city. Firefighters responded to the 1300 block of St. Elmo Avenue Northeast around 2:30. The blaze was sparked when the dog turned on an electric burner on the stove. The family escaped when they were alerted by smoke detectors and put out the flames. The kitchen sustained minor damage. No one was hurt in either fire. The Stark County Grand Jury has indicted a Nimishillen Township man accused of sexually assaulting a young girl. 56-year-old Everett Steed is charged with 3 counts of rape and 2 counts of gross sexual imposition. The alleged victim was 6 when the activity began in January 2004. The indictment states it continued until August 2009. Steen is scheduled for arraignment today in Common Pleas Court. He's being held in the county jail on $150,000 bond. A man accused in a violent assault in Canton is behind bars. 49-year-old William Harvey of Canton was arrested Thursday. He was wanted on a warrant charging him with felonious assault for an August 11th incident. Harvey allegedly used a chair to hit a 58-year-old Canton man in the head. Police say the incident occurred in the 1900 block of 6th Street Northeast. Court records state the victim suffered several broken bones and the loss of 4 teeth. Harvey is scheduled for arraignment today in Canton Municipal Court. The Highway Patrol is investigating a fatal crash in Tuscarawas County that occurred Thursday afternoon. Around 2:15, 18-year-old Ava Stamets was northbound on I-77 in Oxford Township when her car crossed the median and entered the southbound lanes. Her vehicle collided with a pickup truck near milepost 63. The truck went off the left side of the interstate and overturned. Stamets' car then struck another pickup. Both vehicles went off the right side of the road and hit a guardrail. Stamets died at the scene. The other drivers and 4 passengers in the second truck suffered minor injuries and were taken to a Cambridge hospital. The patrol is investigating the incident. Drugs and alcohol are believed to be factors. A Columbiana County judge has sentenced a man who pleaded guilty to child pornography charges to 33 years in prison. Common Pleas Judge Scott Washam handed down the punishment to 64-year-old Barry Stevens of Salem Thursday. He pleaded guilty in March to 51 counts of pandering obscenity involving a minor. As part of his sentence, Stevens must register as a Tier 2 sex offender. He was arrested after a search warrant was executed at his home in February 2024. More than 2,000 images and videos of children engaging in sex acts were found on Stevens' computer. Oral arguments are scheduled October 25th in the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals in Cincinnati for an appeal of the settlement between Norfolk Southern and residents affected by the East Palestine train derailment. The law firm Morgan & Morgan filed the appeal in December 2024. A federal judge ruled the previous month against their motion for an injunction of payment of legal fees in the $600 million settlement. Morgan & Morgan argued the $180 million awarded to class counsel was split up unfairly. They also accused co-lead counsel of exploiting a quick pay provision. The attorneys involved helped broker the settlement resulting from the 2023 derailment. It was granted 1 year ago. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
It's off to prison for a Ravenna man who pleaded guilty to child pornography charges. A federal judge sentenced 47-year-old Daniel Robertson to more than 10 years behind bars. He pleaded guilty in May to receipt and distribution of visual depictions of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Robertson downloaded and shared sexually explicit photos and videos of children from March to December 2024. Federal agents found the material on electronic devices after a search warrant was executed at his home in December. Robertson also was ordered to serve 10 years probation and pay more than $17,000 restitution. 80 days in jail and 1 year of probation is the sentence issued to a man who threatened an employee at Hollywood Gaming Casino in Austintown. Mahoning County Judge Scott Hunter handed down the punishment Wednesday to 69-year-old Alfad Mohammed of North Jackson. He pleaded guilty to aggravated menacing and failure to comply. An intimidation charge was dropped. Mohammed was given credit for 10 days served. He is banned from the casino after losing a large bet. Mohammed threatened to shoot an employee August 10th. Security escorted him off the property. Mohammed later led police on a chase and pointed a rifle out of his vehicle. A federal judge has sentenced 2 women for having fake forms of identification. 39-year-old Amelia Nohemi Rosino Rodriguez and 33-year-old Dikla Imirlania Perez Rodriguez pleaded guilty in May to possession of a fraudulent permanent resident card. They were each sentenced this week to 2 months in prison. Rosino Rodriguez will surrender to Immigrations and Customs Enforcement for deportation. Warren police found the women sleeping in a car at a convenience store on Parkman Road February 17th. Both had bogus permanent resident cards. As part of her sentence, Rosino Rodriguez will serve 3 years probation. Perez Rodriguez was handed 1 year. A parole hearing is scheduled next month for a man serving 15 years to life in prison for murdering his infant daughter in October 2002. The Trumbull County Prosecutor's Office opposes the release of 44-year-old Renal Ziegler. He claimed he put his daughter down for a nap and she fell out of bed, and he violently shook her to wake her up. But an autopsy concluded the child suffered from at least 6 separate points of blunt force trauma to the head that caused bleeding on the brain. Prosecutors say during his time in prison, Ziegler has had at least 40 disciplinary instances. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, but first the forecast. For the overnight, mostly clear, cooler, a low of 61. Saturday, mostly sunny skies with a high reaching 85. For Q92 News, I'm Jeff Mears.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarshone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations, Sarshone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarshone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarshone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarshone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarshone Auto Group. Find out more at sarshone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here at Memorial Stadium in North Canton, staring down at Don Hertler Jr. Field as the North Canton Hoover Viking Band is putting on their halftime show for their beloved fans. And now, as part of our halftime show, we are going to head out and look at the scoreboard, at all the scores that we got going on. At least the ones I've been updated on from the games we're covering around Stark County and beyond on the Q92 Sports Network. And we know here, Hoover is up 16-0 on the Akron Buchtel Griffins. It is halftime in Warren as the McKinley Bulldogs lead Warren Harding 8-6. It is halftime over in Massillon as the Tigers trail Cleveland Glenville 19-7. Last update coming from Marlington and Warrensville Heights is Marlington leads that game 7-0. Again, just previously mentioned a few moments ago, Louisville is up 7-0 on New Philadelphia. That Lake South Range game, it is sitting at 29-13 after 3 kickoff returns in a row in that ball game. Back to back, 2 by Hoover and 1 by South Range. Last update, Jackson Chardon was 21-7 Polar Bears. And that's still the score at halftime, as we just got the update that they made it to half. Jackson's actually out late scratch for quarterback Eckerman, who they have big hopes for this season, who could easily put up numbers if he can get healthy fast enough to be, he's got the experience and the talent to be considered for player of the year if we get from him what we think we were going to. And again, that's all going to be dependent upon his health. So we hope that he can get out there, get healthy, so we get to enjoy the show that he puts on every Friday night over there in Polar Bear country. And I believe at this moment, that's about all we have. I got to say, I'm a little surprised about the Glenville game. It's not too easy to go into Tiger Stadium and lead a football game, let alone win one. And there's still a whole half football left. There's not many people in the county that make better adjustments at halftime than Massillon, especially when they're at home with that home crowd. That's probably the biggest shock I see here so far. As far as plays, it's got to be that back-to-back kickoff return for touchdowns in the Lake South Range game. So that is about all we have updated for the scores. And again, halftime here, 16-0. Hoover over Buchtel. We're going to step away. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Radio Sports Network.
It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN. When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
This is High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here in North Canton, Hoover Memorial Stadium, as the North Canton Band just finished up their performance, and both teams are now starting to make their way back out onto the field to get their warm-ups in before the second half kickoff. It is 16-0. Hoover over Buchtel. And it was a choppy start, really, for both teams, but in completely different ways. Hoover got the football first, and they were moving the ball very easily down the field against Buchtel. And then the fumble deep in Buchtel territory turned it over. And then Buchtel had to use 2 timeouts in 15 seconds because of communication issues from the field to the sideline, lining up issues, and personnel issues. And then Hoover again, driving, almost scoring again, another turnover deep in Buchtel territory. And then Akron they just couldn't get anything going, even when they figured out the personnel, the plays, and the lining up and all those things. Hoover ended up giving the ball away 3 times in the first half. Now, one of them was at the end of the half with the Hail Mary touchdown pass attempt on 4th and 14, but that's a turnover, especially considering Buchtel got the football and had at least 1 or 2 plays to attempt it, but they just didn't have the timeouts. They were too deep in their own territory to give it a go. So for Hoover to be up 16-0 with 3 turnovers, that's pretty rare. And then Hoover started figuring it out as far as finishing their drives that they've been so good at starting before the turnovers. And we got 2 touchdowns and a blocked punt that turned into a safety. And we're going to replay these. We're going to replay these touchdown plays for you from the first half. The first one was a Jack Andes 35-yard touchdown catch to make it 7-0 from John Collins. And here we go. Collins in the shotgun. Drops back to pass, looking left. Lobs it over the middle. Got his man at the 10. Down to the 5. He breaks free. Cuts to the left. Touchdown, Hoover. No flags, and it looks like that was Jack Andes on. So that was Jack Andes on the first touchdown reception. And the second one came in the second quarter. Mike Lamlin, he got a 9-yard touchdown run to make it 14-0 Hoover. And now both teams are back out onto the field. Shotgun formation for John Collins. 4 receivers to each side. Fakes the snap, fakes the handoff to one guy, hands it off again down the middle. And there he goes, Michael Lamlin in for the touchdown. Another rushing touchdown there. And again, that brought the score to 14-0.
Senior Isaiah Barker. Please focus your attention to midfield and give a big round of applause to Isaiah for being a back-to-back state champion in long jump.
And made it 14-0. They are honoring right now Isaiah Barker for winning back-to-back long jump state championships for the North Canton Hoover Vikings, which is quite an accomplishment. I saw the kid. I've covered the kid playing basketball back when he was a freshman and sophomore, and he was an athlete. So not surprising that he's found his niche in the sports world, and he's thrived doing it. But Michael Lamlin there in the second quarter ran it in, as you heard, from 9 yards out to make it 14-0. And then late in the second quarter, Hoover went for it on 4th and goal, didn't get there. Great penetration by the Griffins, but they got stopped 3 times in their own backfield. And that led to the blocked punt, which went right out of the back of the end zone. And now we are ready for the start of the third quarter as Hoover, who received the ball first, is going to be kicking it. To Buchtel. Buchtel will get a chance to get the football first here. in the second half. The Griffins will be going from a right to left to start this half. 16-0 Hoover. And I don't know what we're waiting on. Everybody's out. Everybody's ready. We're geared up. Oh, they literally have to follow the clock on the scoreboard. Can't start it any sooner. That's okay. We don't got nowhere to be. A few more updates. Halftime, South Range and Lake. Lake leads 35-13, and halftime at Glen Oak, Dover leads 18-7. So those are the two newest score updates that we have on the Q92 Sports Network. And now we're teed up and we're ready to roll. And there's a drive deep, and that's going to be fielded at the 2. Dropped, and it's going to be picked up at the 8. And he's going to be dropped at the 9. Great coverage there by the Vikings. It didn't help that the return man dropped the pass. He was lucky to even come up with it in time. And the Akron Buchtel Griffins are going to start the third quarter trailing by 16 and inside their own 10-yard line. They're going to say right on the 10. 1st and 10 on the 10. So Arthur Thomas trotting out with his guys. And they're going to be in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left out wide, 1 up top to the right, and a running back in the backfield on the right hip of Thomas. Takes a snap, quick fire to the right side, nobody there. Over the intended hands of Tavion Iverson. And I think that was supposed to be intended for Dorian Johnson, but he took off running a seam route, and he was nowhere to be found in that space. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. So here we go. They break huddle, back in the shotgun. This time they're going to go 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And they're going to go ahead and hand it off to the running back who tries to do a stretch out to the left side, and he loses yards down to the 3. Lukens with a great open field tackle in the backfield. Great job there by the Hoover defense, and that takes it to 3rd and 15 from their own 5. 11:25 to go here in the third quarter. Buchtel's got to get something going if they're going to have any shot at even making this a ball game, because I believe they're probably in negative yardage at this point. Takes the snap out of the shotgun, drops back to pass, looking downfield, fires it off to the left side, and in and out of the hands of his wide open intended target, Dwight Shade. Incomplete, and that's 4th and 15. And we're going to have to see the punt team again for the Griffins. And again, they're going to have to punt from deep in their own territory. Takes a snap, and this one he gets off. It's a nice high punt, going to be fielded at their own 46. He breaks 1 tackle, down to the 30, to the 25, to the 20. Great return. Everybody on the Griffin sideline, fans, coaches, players wanted a block in the back or a blindside block, but they are not going to get it, I do not think. I don't see any flags out there. And that coaching staff is hot down on that Griffin sideline. Great return, though, by the Hoover Vikings, and they're going to start on the 19 inside the RG Drag red zone. Learn, earn, and succeed. And here comes John Collins and company. Shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 man in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to him. It's Gio Bianco up the middle. Gains about 4 yards. Held onto the football this time, which is why I think he got pulled late in that first quarter after a few cough-ups there. But that's going to bring up second down for the Vikings. Empty backfield, 5 wide for Collins. Shotgun. Takes the snap. Fires it to the left side, in and out of the hands of his target. Came in a little hot on Chris Carter. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Collins, they're staying no huddle. They kind of all look over to the sideline for the play most of the time. They're going to do 5 wide again, empty backfield. Collins, and it looks like they're going to blitz. And off sides as one of the Griffins jumped into the neutral zone. And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that'll bring up an automatic first down for the North Canton Hoover Vikings as they are knocking on the door again with 10-11 to go here in the third quarter. Gio Bianchi in the backfield on the right hip of John Collins. 3 wide, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. They're going to hand it off to Gio. He goes left, straight up the side, into the end zone for an easy touchdown for Gio Bianchi. Extra points still to come here for the Hoover Vikings. It's up, and it is good, and that's going to make it 23-0. North Canton Hoover on top of Akron Buchtel. And it's getting ugly now for the Griffins. Here in the third quarter. So the Vikings got it teed up, and they're going to send it back. And it's going to be Hoover gets it back on a pooch kick. Going to be recovered by Hoover, and when I said it was getting ugly, it just got worse. And Hoover's going to take the ball right back. And back in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off again, straight up the middle, inside the 20, down to the 10-yard line. And let's repeat it again. They are now in the RG drag red zone yet again. Learn, earn, and succeed. Back in the shotgun for Collins as they're going hurry up. Looking over to the sidelines. Takes a snap, hands it off again. To the right side, cuts it back up the middle. That's Michael Lamlin, second carry in a row inside the 5-yard line. That's going to be a 1st and goal for the Hoover Vikings as they're looking to put this thing away right now. Shotgun formation for Collins. Fakes the handoff, runs it himself, cuts it up the middle, dives into the end zone. Another Hoover touchdown. And another extra point on the way for the Hoover Vikings. It's now 29-0 with the extra points still to come. Ball's up, and it is good. And it is now 30-0, and we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarchone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
From the daily driver, a heavy hauler, to a high-end auto investment, the Sarchone Auto Group is one of Northeast Ohio's leaders. With 6 locations: Sarchone Ford in Alliance and Randolph, Sarchone Chevrolet in Randolph and Garrettsville, Sarchone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Dalton, and the Sarchone Auto Gallery in North Canton. The Sarchone Auto Group. Find out more at sarchone.com, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football presented by Sarchone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
We're back 30-0. Vikings on top of the Griffins. They're ready to kick it back again. And you can hear the student section just lighting up right now as it looks like it's beach night or Hawaii night over there. And there's the kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 6 by the Griffins. Coming out to the middle of the field. Swinging back to the right side. He's going to try to catch the corner, but he's going to be swung down at the 24-yard line. As the Griffins will now have a 1st and 10. And we got a Hoover Viking down on the field. He gets up under his own power, but he's limping off, and that looks to be Aiden Kish. Hopefully he's okay. He's just limping off under his own power, which is good. If anybody's wondering about an update from the quarterback from Central last night, Berkwin, he was discharged from the hospital last night. He is home. I think they marked it as a concussion. But everybody needs to know that had him in their prayers. It was a scary scene last night at Central, but he is okay. He's going to be okay. So I just wanted to update the listeners on that, as I know as it's been in the sports world and in the community, it's been a big thing that's been on people's hearts and minds all night. So we can be thankful for the fact that he is healthy. He's home. All of his extremities are good to go. So. So there's your update on that. I knew I wanted to say that at least once tonight because I know it's been asked to me a few times throughout the day today as I've been around the Canton area, and I just didn't have an update and didn't want to say it without proper information. So, and we got a timeout here. There is 7:49 to go here in the third quarter. The Hoover Vikings lead 30-0. As their offense is looking really, really good. Griffins are fast on defense too. They're fast on offense, but they're fast on defense. So And they're going to go ahead and hand it off to go to the right side. They're going to lose yardage as Hoover's just got all of the momentum, all of the energy, and they are just putting it to Akron Buchtel right now.
Kyler Wilson on the carry. Tackles made by number 40, Carson Duncan. Second down.
So back in the shotgun for Arthur Thomas of Buchtel. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Dumps it over the middle, complete. I believe that was to Terrell Hall. And that's going to bring up third down. Got about half back on that 2nd and 11. He got absolutely popped coming over the middle. But when you're a receiver, that's what you're going to expect, especially against a very physical Hoover Vikings defense. Under 6:30 to go here in the third quarter. 3rd and 7 for Buchtel. Bunch to the left. 1 receiver up top to the right. Take the snap, drop back to pass, fires it over to the left side, and he catches it, but hit immediately.
Pass is complete to number 3.
That was Demir Edwards. And that's going to bring up 4th and
Brings up a 4th down.
looks like it's going to be 4th and 4. And they're going to go for it. I mean, they got nothing to lose at this point. It's already 30-0. 4th and 3, they're going to say. Thomas in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, looking left, fires it left, got his man, gets it across the line to gain, and that'll be a first down for Buchtel. Hoover was playing back off the receivers because, again, they have speed, and the last thing you want to do on a 4th down up 30-0 is give up a 70-yard bomb. You'd rather just give them the first down and make them work for it. Approaching the 5-minute mark here of the third quarter. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Thomas drops back to pass. He's looking left again. This one is over the top, off of the outstretched hands of Terrell Hall. Just a little bit too high. 2nd and 10, Buchtel. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers up top to the right, 1 down here to the left. Thomas takes a snap, hands it off to his back, straight up the middle, breaks through the first level, and gets tackled out at the 45-yard line, which is going to be a first down. And a little extracurricular starting to go on. I believe that was Kyler Wilson on the carry. Nice little burst through the line there for the senior running back. 1st and 10. Buchtel putting together a drive now out on their own 45-yard line. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter. Hands it off again to Wilson. Tries to punch it up the middle, and he gets about 4 yards out of that. They're going to say 3. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. As it's getting physical down there in the trenches, even more so as the game goes along. So, seems a little bit too late to run the football, but right now, if you're Buchtel, the one thing you want to do is just get something going. Now you're working for next week. You're working for the rest of the season. You can't go into week 2 having nothing accomplished on offense. So, this is good for them. They're starting to roll a little bit, getting a nice little drive going on offense, a couple of first downs, something that they haven't done yet during the ball game. We're going to take the snap and hand it off again. Here goes Wilson again. He's a tough runner out to the 50. And they're going to mark it right down on the 50. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 5. You got about
Tackle on that play was made by Aiden Kavanaugh and Jack Zarko.
approaching the 2:30 mark of the third quarter. Lake giving South Range everything. The blue streaks up 42-13 now. Back in the shotgun. Trips to the right. Thomas drops back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Got the ball over the middle, wide open. Had his man for a first down and in and out of his hands. And that was Dwight Shade again with a dropped pass as he used his arms and his body instead of his hands. And we are at a running clock, so the clock is going to keep running on that. And if Buchtel went for it deeper in their own territory, they're going to go for it again. It's going to be 4th and 5 for the Griffins. It's actually going to be an automatic first down as Hoover is called for roughing the passer, and it's going to be first down, and they're going to move the ball into Hoover territory for the first time tonight. 35-yard line of Hoover's is where they're sitting. 1:24 to go here in the third quarter. A chance to snatch a little bit of momentum back for the Griffins. In the shotgun, 2 receivers up top to the right, 1 down here to the left. Wilson in the backfield, right behind Thomas. Fake handoff up over the middle. They're going for the whole thing. Way too far of a pass over everybody's head. And that's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Buchtel. .30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 from the Hoover 35. Buchtel on the march. And the running back ran into the back of his own quarterback and folded him like a lawn chair as he was letting go of the football, and it falls incomplete. It's now going to be 3rd and 10. I have never seen that before in my life. He was back. The running back was behind the quarterback who was in a shotgun. The quarterback drops back to pass, looking left to complete the pass, and the running back takes off into a flat route, but runs straight square into the back of the running back. And that's the end of the third quarter. Hoover leads 30-0 over Buchtel. And we'll step away for a quick commercial break. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN. It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
This is High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back for the start of the fourth quarter as the Hoover Vikings lead 30-0, but Buchtel on the march as they now flip sides, and Buchtel's now going left to right. Louisville up on New Philadelphia 10-0. Just got that update. So now it's 3rd and 10, or 4th and 10, sorry, for Buchtel. And again, they're going to go for it probably from here on out. Arthur Thomas takes the snap out of the shotgun, looking right, fires it over the right side, complete, but he's met. Terrell Hall's met with a big hit after a few yard gain, and that is not going to be anywhere near a first down. So Hoover will take over with 11 minutes to go and a running clock up 30-0. And now it's clock bleeding time for the Vikings. As it looks like, barring some insanity, Hoover's going to revenge Week 1's loss last year to these Griffins and start the season 1-0. And we got about 10.5 minutes for that to happen. But Hoover's up 30-0. And we got a new quarterback in for the Vikings as he picks the snap up off the turf and hands it off. And it's going to be Luke Whitaker, a senior quarterback. Did a great job, though, of picking that snap up off the turf. So it's going to be 2nd and 11 after a loss of yardage. Shotgun. Hands it off again up the middle.
Gio Bianchi on the carry. Tackle was made by Jordan Holloway. 3rd down.
And that was Gio Bianchi on the carry, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 7. 4. The Hoover Vikings. Shotgun formation for Whitaker. Drops back to pass. Fires it to the right side, complete to his intended target. Out across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And that was Brady Hazen on the reception, and he is down. It's going to get tended to. .307 left in the third quarter over in Massillon, and Glenville still leading 19-7. Harding has taken the lead over McKinley with 6:30 left in the third, 9-8. And 3:15 left in the third quarter. The Jackson Polar Bears are on top of Chardon, 28-7. In the post-game show, we will do a quick recap of this game, including some of the highlights. We'll go over the scoreboard and before we sign off. So stick around for that.
It seems appropriate that we say thank you to Cleveland Clinic Mercy Hospital Sports Medicine.
So still tending to Brady on the field, and we got another update here. Marlington leads Warrensville Heights in the third quarter, 13-0.
It's 4th down and 3. Back deep to punt, Jack Andes.
So now Hoover is going to punt. And he gets it off, low line drive. It's going to be fielded at the 25-yard line, and he's going to be spun down. And we'll see where they mark it, as it looks like he lost a little bit of yardage trying to break free there. And we got a flag on the play, so we will see what this is all about. Looks like it's going to be roughing the kicker on Buchtel. And if it's roughing, it's going to be an automatic first down. If it's running in, actually, I think both of them are going to give him the yardage for a first. So it looks like Hoover's going to keep the football. And we are at 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Shotgun formation. Hoover with the football. They're going to hand it off to Gio Bianchi, and he's going to get maybe a yard. They give him the forward progress as they, after the penalty, they're going to start this drive, continue this drive after the roughing the kicker inside Buchtel territory on the Buchtel 46-yard line, as they did give him a yard, so it's 2nd and 9. Hoover up 30-0, 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Empty backfield for Whitaker. 5 wide, drops back to pass. He's going to fire it over the top to the right side. A little too long. Out of bounds, incomplete. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 9. I know that it's the backups getting reps in for Hoover, but at 30-0 with 6:30 left, I'm actually surprised that they're still throwing long bombs down the field, but teach their own, right? 4 wide for Hoover, going right to left. Drops back to pass out of the shotgun. Whitaker looking downfield, rolling right, throws it out of bounds. Got rid of the ball just in time. Luke Whitaker making a great decision there, and that's going to bring up 4th down with 6 minutes to go, and the punt team is going to come back out again for Hoover. Buchtel's got 2 guys back deep to field the punt. Punt's blocked. It's going to be picked up by Buchtel. And they're going to have it at the Hoover 32-yard line. Something positive there for the Griffins as we approach the 5-minute mark of the ball game. Massillon scored. It's getting interesting over at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium as now Glenville leads 19-14. Five minutes to go in the ball game. Hoover's defense wants to preserve the shutout. Buchtel wants to put points on the board so they're not shut out. They're going to start this drive 1st and 10. From the Hoover 32. And then we're going to get a Buchtel timeout. We're going to step away for a quick break. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back out of the timeout. Thomas takes a snap, flips it up to Ledwell, or to, let's see, who was that? Tavion Iverson. As he gains about 3 yards, 4 yards maybe.
Pass is complete to number 7, Tavion Iverson.
That's a pass considering he was coming across, but Thomas had to flip it forward to him on the sweep play. And it's going to be 2nd and 5, as he actually got 5 on that carry. Or on that reception, I should say. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers wide to each side. Thomas drops back to pass, looking left. Quick pass, complete to Leon Cross. Gains an extra yard after catch, and it's down to the 25-yard line, and that's going to bring up 3rd down for Buchtel. It is obviously 4 down territory for the Griffins.
It's 3rd down.
McKinley back up on top of Harding now with 3:50 left in the third. It is 15-9. Three minutes to go in the ball game. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. Thomas, shotgun formation, running back on his left hip. Thomas takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking left, fires it, got his man, complete, hit immediately. And tried to get out of bounds, but the line of sprint, well, it doesn't matter, it's a running clock, but they're going to keep the clock running. And that's going to bring up fourth. Or nope, they got enough, just enough for the first down. So they got a 1st and 10 from the Hoover 23-yard line with 2:24 to go in the ball game. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Shotgun formation for Thomas. He's going to hand it off. Straight up the middle goes the running back. Gets to the second level down to the 15-yard line. And that's going to be a nice gain there on first down. Leon Cross on the carry. And Akron Buchtel is now in the RG Drag red zone. Learn, earn, and succeed. 2nd and 2. 1:45 to go in the ball game. Shotgun. Three receivers, two to the right, one to the left. Fires it to the right. Complete. Makes one man miss. Heading to the corner. And he's going to be drugged down at the 4-yard line, as that was Dorian Johnson on the reception, yards after catch. And it's going to be 1st and goal for Buchtel. 1:15 to go in the ball game. They are on the Hoover 5-yard line. 1st and goal. And we're going to have a flag on the play, and it's going to be a false start on the Griffins, which is going to knock them back 5. So they'll go back to the 10. Under a minute to play in the ball game. And here we go. Griffins trying to do anything they can to get a number on the board. 1st and 10 from the 10. 1st and goal from the 10. Shotgun. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Shotgun for Thomas. Takes the snap. Looks left. Fires it over to the left side. Knocked away by the defensive back. And we're now under 20 seconds to play. And are they even going to attempt to put the ball in the end zone? As we are at 12 seconds. And they're going to rush to the line to see if they can get anything off. 5, 4, 3, 2. They're not going to get it off, and it's a final here at North Canton Stadium, 30-0. Great first win to start the season for the North Canton Hoover Vikings in front of their home crowd. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a game recap and check around the other scores that are still going on here in Stark County on the Q92 Sports Network. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 Sports Network.
Hey, sports fans, want the latest local sports news, game photos, coach and player interviews, and live play-by-play coverage? Then follow Q92 Sports on social media now. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Catch the highlights, relive the moments, and stay connected to your hometown teams. Q92 Sports, your home for everything local sports. Real teams, real action, real coverage. Follow Q92 Sports on social media.
Looking for your home for local sports? Head over to Q92radiosports.com, the official website of Q92 Sports Network. Catch every live broadcast of high school games and Mount Union sports. Stay up to date with the latest local sports stories. Check scores from around the area and never miss a game with our full broadcast schedule. It's everything sports all in one place. Q92radiosports.com, your local sports connection.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
And we're back at Memorial Stadium as the North Canton Hoover Vikings defeat the Akron Buchtel Griffins 30-0 in a running clock late in the second half. And it was just a tale of two teams, really. That's the difference between having a senior at quarterback on offense and a sophomore that's just getting his feet wet on a consistent basis running an offense. So you could tell the timing issues, the spacing issues, the calls coming in from the sidelines, and they'll get better at that. They did in the second half. You could start to see things running a little smoother. That last drive of theirs, they were able to get something going and they got close to scoring a touchdown. And Hoover, very, very physical defense, especially on defense. And then John Collins did a great job, even through the turnovers, of leading that offense, keeping them under control, and doing exactly what Baum wanted him to do: be patient and take care of the football, other than the one Hail Mary interception. He did a great job rushing the football when he needed to. He's shifty for a tall guy, and I think I didn't get to see, his top speed because he never really got off into a full sprint anywhere. But he knows how to shift through those lines and get through those open holes, which he did a great job of doing tonight. So that's my thoughts on the game and how we got to where we got with the 30-0 victory. So now we're going to look at the scoreboard around Stark County and beyond on the Q92 Sports Network. Lake all over in the fourth quarter, South Range 49-13. So barring something crazy, the Blue Streaks are also going to start their season 1-0 with a big victory over South Range. McKinley retook the lead late in the third quarter, 15-9 over Warren Harding, as they still got a whole quarter to play. Louisville's up 17-0 with 4:50 left in their ball game on New Philadelphia. Massillon took their first lead of the ball game, I believe, just now with 11:56 to go in the game. It's 20-19 Tigers over in Massillon. Let's see here. We got Marlington's up 13-0 on Warrensville Heights. Last I got from Jackson, they were leading Chardon 28-7. And let's see what else we have here. I think that's the only updates we have. The last thing I got from Dover Glen Oak was 18-7 at the half. So a lot of games still got a whole quarter left, which is normal when you're calling a game that goes into a running clock into the second half. We're going to step away for one more commercial break, and then we will be about ready to wrap it up. You're listening to High School Football, brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group on the Q92 Sports Network.
When it comes to sports, Sam Berkwin brings the heat. Catch the Sam Berkwin Show weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on AM 1310 WDPN and streaming live on the WDPN Facebook and X pages, plus the Q92 YouTube channel. From the Browns to the Buckeyes, the Guardians, Cavs, and your local high school teams, if it's making headlines in the sports world, Sam is talking about it. It's the local sports talk you want. The Sam Berkwin Show, weekday afternoons on AM 1310 WDPN. It's time for Purple Raider football. Catch every snap, every score, and every big moment all season long on AM 1310 WDPN. This year, it's even easier to follow the 13-time national champion Mount Union Purple Raiders. Listen live on AM 1310, the WDPN Facebook and X pages, and streaming on the Q92 YouTube channel. Sam Berkwin and Ryan Bevere are back in the booth, bringing you all the action. Don't miss a minute of Mount Union football on AM 1310 WDPN.
This is high school football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92 and the Q92 Sports Network.
Back here for my final thoughts here at Memorial Stadium as the Hoover Vikings defeat Akron Buchtel in Week 1, 30-0. We had the Jack Andes 35-yard touchdown catch to open it up 7-0. And that was in the first. In the second quarter, we had Mike Lamlin's 9-yard touchdown run to make it 14-0. The block punt late in the second quarter for the safety gave Hoover a 16-0 lead. Gio Bianchi had a 7-yard touchdown run in the third quarter to make it 23-0. And then Collins scampered in on his own in the third quarter for about a 4 or 5-yard touchdown run to make it 30-0. And with the running clock, nobody put points on the board in the fourth quarter. So we finish at 30-0. Thank you guys for spending week 1 Friday night here with us on Q92 Radiosports.com. Check our website, Q92radiosports.com, and our social media accounts for the games that we will be covering in week 2. Start of the fourth quarter, Dover still leads Glen Oak 18-7. McKinley up 15-12. Harding is officially out of timeouts, evidently. So those are the last updates I have to give you. And as always, thank you guys for spending your Friday night with me. And thank you to the sponsors. Without them, we would not be able to bring you the set of games that we bring you week in and week out. Have a good night, everybody.